I don't want to set the world on fire.
Please welcome Tom Summery. I'm here, and no white privileges have been insane you tonight, okay, guys?
Desire, and that one is you. No other will do. I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim.
Any government is to monopolize as much violence as possible in order for it to inflict it on as many citizens as possible.
I've been on this like weird anarchist arc for a few months now. This is playing by their rules, exactly how they are.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame.
You're watching the Dog and Chicken Show. Like, share, subscribe.
That's right. It's time for the Dog and Chicken Show. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Dog and Chicken Show. I am Chicken. Find me at Bark and Cluck, as always. Looking forward to another fantastic night. All kinds of fun heading your way. But without further ado, the one, the only man, the myth, the legend, the guy that always is wearing that awesome hat and those sexy glasses, looking buff as ever. Oh, sorry. Okay. Tony fucking G. Yeah, sorry. I was hitting on him a little bit there.
Me, quadruple distilled, non-chill filtered, 14-time revolutionary podcast champion and non-coppa friendly, and Tony the Rod 2.0 on TikTok. Yes, and not feeling very sexy, but Chicken really hyped me up, so I appreciate it. Tony fucking G. Like, share, subscribe, folks.
I'm a good fluffer.
Nice. And folks, I simply am the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower, the man too sexy for my shirt, your king of extreme, Phil KOE. You can find me, of course, at KOE Nation on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch, as well as right here on Big Bucket Empire on YouTube and Facebook. Folks, we are ever expanding. Also, Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast on YouTube and Spotify, folks. It's ever expanding podcast kingdom. And tonight we're going to get into a bunch of crazy casts and characters. And yes. And we're also on Rumble now. We are actually on Rumble now.
I'm actually fixing the Rumble link. So
all you beautiful folks over on Rumble, thank you. God bless. Yes, Master.
It's already fixed, Chicken.
It's working.
All right. Sweet. And we got Tony. It sounds like he's in a tunnel. And we got Bark and Cluck, who's here and like. Sorry, T. But now, folks, we've got a lot of stories to get into this evening. We've got a lot of stuff to get into, but we've already got one of the great contributors, Grow the Farm Up, letting us know, living rent free in the head of Tiberius D. And Grow the Farm Up. If anyone interrupts Tony G reading the articles, Tiberius D will show up at your house and hit you over the head with a shovel, allegedly. That
might be true.
Little callback from last week where Chicken, you had a chance to get into last week, right? You got to watch the episode.
I didn't get to watch the whole thing yet. No,
unfortunately. You're really missing out, folks. If you haven't seen it, last week's live episode really was something. But you know what? That is the past. We are now in the ghost
episode 173 of the Dog and Chicken Show, aka the post show of Truth and the Fiction.
Yes. We might have carried over a few issues from the previous show over to Big Buck and Empire. Maybe one or two, T.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that the audience was completely educated as to, the right things and the right way to think on things, as we will do right here at Big Buck and Empire, folks. But that was the ghost of Christmas past. Now we're into the ghost of Christmas present. Don't worry about the ghost of Christmas future. That's the creepy part of the story. But we're in the ghost of Christmas present here, folks, with this week Big Bucking Empire. You know, Chicken, earlier we were kind of joking.
Phil's talking to just be talking right now.
Well, it seems
this is how last week went.
Yeah.
No, I was just about to hand it off to you, Chicken, before you became a giant fucking dildo right there, like midstream. I was about to like give a segue to hand it off to you, but it's like Chicken's like, I haven't been enough of a giant dildo in the last.
It takes a long time to get to England in a rowboat. So yes. Oh god. So yeah, he needs that big dildo. We just did the Royal Rumble on the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. Like, share, subscribe, and we had no technical difficulties whatsoever, but Phil just pretended like we did. Like, I'm just going to talk for 5 minutes before you guys even get on screen.
No, you guys had like real.
No, we didn't.
No, there was no technical difficulties.
Like, I could have talked for another 40 minutes.
You're like, I'm stalling. And we're like, why? Why are you stalling? We don't need you to stall right now.
Yeah. The Royal Rumble match itself lasted 90 minutes, and Phil's like, I need to talk as long as that Royal Rumble match.
I'm going to top Gunther's effort in staying in the Royal Rumble, and I'm just
coming in at entry number 7, Phil. That reminds me of the 1993 Royal Rumble.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear about the Heartbreak Kid when he won the Royal Rumble?
Oh God. I was just a literal nostalgia machine on that one. So now, like I was saying with my original segue, Chicken, like, you know, we were talking about the past, but now we're getting.
He called you a dildo.
Yes. It's a massive giant.
Before he called me a dildo.
Yes. Right. So what?
Giant
this week, the stories that are of the now. What is it that the folks this evening can look forward to?
Let me tell you about something. Did you hear this? Let me see if you heard about this. You guys heard about documents the president's been holding on to and illegal documents?
Wait, funny you should mention that. I tried talking about this just last week, Chicken.
You know, so did everybody else, but then it just became shit started getting personal.
Yes. This.
Yeah, you have been distracted. Yeah, things start getting personal. Feelings started getting hurt on one side anyways. But, you know, and now granted, I get it. Facing off against Phil KOE and Grow the Farm Up is too much for any one mortal to take.
It can be.
So I get it. It's more than anyone can ever really stand. So it's like an army of 50, 100, 50,000, you know, can't really withstand that kind of force. But yes, we did have some document debauchery with the current occupant of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Not just a little debauchery. I guess we can pull the story up. Like, now that we have the full timeline, this is like everybody's like, oh my god, I don't want to talk about documents anymore. But the timeline's probably the most interesting part. Yeah. When you go to see how long this has been going, like you can talk about the Biden gaffes and the Biden, you know, whatever.
Jamie, can you pull that up?
Yeah, I'm like waiting. So we can scroll down and start showing like the dates where all of this really started.
If this starts with the word Washington, good luck getting through it.
Now, keep in mind, just as a little aperitif to this, Chicken, the FBI just got done with another search of one of Biden's homes yesterday.
Found nothing today.
Well, yeah, you got to understand, Biden invited them into the home to look. So him and his staff had a chance to basically sanitize the house before anything happened. So like that, like you'll notice that no such consideration was given to Trump. So just wanted to point that out.
We'll get into that. November 2022, classified documents turn up at Biden's former D.C. office. On November 2nd, the president's lawyer discovered a small number of classified documents, about 10 of them, at a D.C. office formerly used by Biden after he left vice presidency. November 4th, National Archives Inspector General contacts prosecutor at Justice Department to say the classified markings were found at the office. The FBI begins an assessment to understand whether the information was mishandled. You know what's going on all around that time frame, right?
Spoiler alert, it was.
So yeah, so of course that's midterm time frame.
Yeah.
Now skip forward to Merrick Garland. Where'd we go? There. Right there. Signs U.S. Attorney Josh Losh John Losh Jr. To conduct an initial investigation mid-November, which is November 14th. Like, why, like, really? They couldn't get a
November 14th, mid-November. I need somebody to explain to me what the difference there is.
I think it's like, because there were so many days in a row.
Like, unless it's November 15th.
Yeah.
Like,
it was 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. They're like,
I'm sorry, 14 is about as mid-November as you get.
Yeah. So this is the first time.
I disagree with you, Phil.
This is probably the first time I've seen some of this ever written down and taken seriously. Mid-November, FBI conducts a search of former Biden office. It's not immediately clear whether additional records were recovered. The search was consensual and did not require a warrant. So the FBI did a consensual search without a warrant. Just like every single search they've done in the last like 20, 30, 40 years, they've all been consensual without a warrant. Winky face.
Yeah. Hey, you owe me a Coke. But yeah, that one, yeah, like the consensual without a warrant. It's the way that works is like, hey,
I know that sounds
you
so
can
dirty,
let us
doesn't
in,
it?
and you, like the way that works is you can let us in now, and we'll look around and not ransack the place, or we can come back in 2 hours with a warrant and you're gonna be putting nails back into boards.
Come inside and look around, Daddy. It's so consensual.
So like when they eventually raid my house to search for stuff, it's gonna be without a warrant, and if they break stuff, I'm gonna say it was non-consensual. So can I scream like the R word at that point?
Yeah.
Like,
yes,
yeah,
actually. Ratification.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
like the Constitution was.
Revolution.
Yeah.
So
Ratatouille.
December.
Yeah. December.
December. I was about to say this is. I don't like. We're down to Ratatouille. I don't know where we go.
Feels like I don't know how long Chicken can dance around the R word without saying it.
Like I know you.
Throw a few more ideas out there before people start connecting dots.
Biden's personal counsel informs Lush that more documents were identified in Biden's garage. We all know about that one. January 2023.
The ones that Hunter may or may not have sold to foreign nationals if he had access to them.
Are you going to seriously tell me you don't keep all of your most valuable documents, whether you should have or not, in your Corvette in your garage? That's what they're for. You don't drive them. You park them in a garage that you never visit. And you put, very highly sensitive material in them.
Like
we all do.
Most people that had, like, they'd at least put them in like a filing cabinet or something.
Yeah, it's a fucking convertible filing cabinet. Like, it's a convertible. That's literally what it means. You can either drive it or you can store documents in it. It converts into a filing cabinet, Phil.
It was totally safe. That's where I put my Corvette. It was totally safe.
It was Throw secure. The farm up. Consensual warrantless wiretap in Hunter's garage. Oof.
On January 5th, not to be confused by January 6th.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we can't have two things.
And we got this in time just before January 6th, the Democrats' favorite holiday.
So Attorney General was briefed that special counsel is warranted. Then on January 9th, small number of classified documents were found November 2nd in a locked closet. So they didn't release the November 2nd locked closet in Biden's office until January 9th. 2 months, more than 2 months.
Seems like that would be something that'd be time sensitive.
Well, they wanted to give as much time. Yeah. They wanted to give as much time between this discovery and the events of Donald Trump's raid because they're just hoping that people have a very short
raid.
Memory.
Phil, you mean devil worshipping cult activities?
January 6th. I don't know if that was consensual.
That one.
People.
That's a stretch.
Yeah, that's a boy howdy. Spicy take there, grow the farm.
January 9th, White House reveals small number of classified documents. We already said that. On January 10th, Biden says at a news conference in Mexico, first time he went there, by the way, he was surprised the documents were found and that he didn't know what was in them.
I'm not surprised that he didn't know what was in them. B, Yeah.
No, here's the thing. If he didn't know about them and he didn't know what was in them, like I've said many, many times, and I will say it again here, folks, this is Joseph R. Biden being negligent with our national security secrets. So I want you to understand that this makes what Biden has done here worse than anything Trump has even been accused of. I'm going to say that one more time. Makes him worse than anything Trump has even been accused of. Because people say Trump shouldn't have, negligence is worse. Trump should have given back, negligence is worse. Trump should have given up, negligence is worse. It doesn't matter how you want to boil it down. Negligence with our national security secrets will be worse, and impeachment has been gifted to the House Republicans on a silver platter.
Yes, indeed. January 12th, White House reveals a second set of consensually classified documents.
The Sean Connery metric.
January 6th was consensual.
Yeah, consensual.
It's like that.
And if it wasn't, I'll slap her.
I was about to say, remember that interview with Barbara Walters? Sometimes you just gotta give a woman a little bit of a slap. And like, Jesus, Sean, whoa! Like, this is 1997.
No,
like,
Jace, I don't want to. Yes, you do.
When Barbara Walters pushed him on that interview, you see him kind of like, in a non-direct way, threaten to slap her if she keeps his shit up. Like,
sometimes women just keep going and going and they don't know when to let things go. And I'm just like, oh no, this guy's speaking from some personal first experience here.
I'll go back up, Justin.
In the hypothetical. Like, it's like, no.
Yes, it's still a yes, fellas. Remember that.
Yes. Justin, go back up. Let's finish up January here. Well, a little bit there. January 12th. So in Wilmington, Delaware, Garland appoints former Justice Rob Hur as special counsel to further investigate the handling classified documents. January 20th, FBI conducts another consensual day-long search in Biden's Wilmington residence, resulting in 6 additional items with classification markings. They said it. The search was consensual and did not require a warrant. They actually said it again. Oh my God, that's great.
It's like,
okay.
And this motherfucker, like, is he wiping his ass with classified documents? Is he using that for scratch paper? Like when he's like wanting to draw and doodle, like, hey, I got these classified papers. Grow the farm up. 15 no's and 1 yes equals yes, Sean Connery, 1984. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I wasn't joking.
Oh my
Welcome
God.
to the Rock. It's like,
yeah, it's like, huh?
I like how this consensual raid, visit. Search, right. This consensual search did not require a warrant. That's like saying
it's like getting on a plane at the TSA. It's a total consensual search.
That's like hiring an escort, and she says, "Yeah, you don't need a rubber."
Well, no. Here's what it really was, guys, because the FBI, they know how to turn up the heat and how to really turn the screws on somebody. They came, like, even Joe Biden ain't above this, because they'd come like, all right, well, Joe, we can consensually search your residence now, or we can go get a warrant, and then you have to deal with the goddamn dumpster fire of the FBI getting warrants to search your house. How would you like that little political albatross hanging around your neck for the rest of your legacy?
Trump, right?
You saw what we just did to Donnie Trump. Guess what? The FBI, we've been the political strong arm wing of the Democratic Party for 35 fucking years, but guess what? We own you too there, buddy boy Biden. So that's basically what Biden's been. That's his January. That's what happened to Biden in January.
And then we move on to February, as Phil alluded to earlier. FBI searches Biden's, this is his vacation home in Delaware. They also consented to this search. Totally consented.
They also
report that no classified records were recovered at his vacation home. That's good. He wasn't working when he was on vacation. Like, I don't know how much he's working, but investigators take some materials and handwritten notes that appear to relate to Biden's time as vice president. So there you have it, folks. For 3 months now, we've been, I don't know, Biden apparently just has shit laying around like everywhere, apparently,
where his ne'er-do-well son can possibly
access everything.
Possibly. One of them he even lists as a residence, so that's God almighty.
$50,000 a month payment to his dad. Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's nothing to see here, folks.
Also, Chicken, before we proceed, I just wanted to let any of the subscribers know, whether you have me do a gin shot or you have Chicken do shot, anything, the first person to call out a subscriber command gets to decide what gin I'm drinking the rest of the night. Is it Indago? Is it Brickway? Is it Beefeater? You get to decide what gin I'm pouring the rest of the night. The first subscriber that puts in an order of any kind. So just wanted to throw that one out there.
That's a good to know. Good to know.
It's a good little deal.
So the reason we kind of open with this whole document story, and Phil, I'm kind of glad you guys kind of pushed through it last week and kind of blew it off, because I wanted to line up.
That's one way to
line
put it.
up a very special interview, if you will. And I've been asking. I know we're not on good terms lately. He calls me Rooster all the time. He gets pretty upset with me, on the regular if I push back or question anything. So I told him tonight that I would be as consensually fair as possible. I was.
That's his least favorite word, especially as of late.
I told him I would be nice and wanted to just talk to him about these documents, because I really just want to know how this is going. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the president of these United States. Hey, Joe, welcome back. Hey, Joe, over here.
Joe, no.
To your right.
Over here.
To your right.
There we go.
Yep, right there.
There we go.
Hey, what's up, man?
How we doing there, Rooster?
Yeah, I'm doing good, sir. Is that a classified document on your microphone?
No.
Jesus, Joe.
No, that was a microphone shade.
Wow.
Okay. So this is all consensual. I just want to clarify.
Absolutely.
I told my audience
100% consensual. We agreed to this ahead of time. Just like me and the Department of Justice. You know what they stand for, right? Smashing pussy. And justice. Fair. Secondary.
Smashing justice.
I'd like to see that carved in granite above the door. The Department of Justice. Smashing pussy. ... and justice.
Injustice.
It's carved in limestone, because limestone's softer.
Yeah, there you go. I like it. So Joe, I have to ask you.
Oh shit!
No, Joe, is that another classified document?
Shit. Sorry.
Okay.
God damn it.
I have to ask. Like, Joe, I said I was going to be nice. So, why are there classified documents everywhere?
Look, I mean, okay. So you remember a couple years ago, right? We were facing a pandemic.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
Absolutely. I got my finger on this nation's pulse. I've never been more in tune. I'm like Professor X, wearing Cerebro, placebo on my head. Like
placebo.
I connect. Like I said, I'm the most popular president in American history. I got my mind connected to their minds. I know what's up. Like 2 years ago, we faced a very critical juncture in this nation's foundation. And there was a plague of sorts. And this is just like that, except it's more, localized on me and like these documents. It's almost as equally bad.
So your misplaced documents are like COVID.
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, it's contagious, super contagious. I'm a super spreader. I didn't even know it. I'm patient zero.
You accidentally spread it to Mike Pence.
That's true. Like, I'm not even affiliated with that man, and I was able to give it to him. Like I said, I've got my finger on the pulse. Apparently, he got too close to my pulse.
Apparently.
Oh, so, Joe, curious, is there any
We're glad to have Mike Pence join the Democratic Party, though.
You can have him.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he already did.
So, Joe, I have to ask, what is that? God damn it, Joe! No, like more classified documents, Joe. Come on now, man. Like, all right, is there any are there any classified documents in your Depends at the moment? The adult diapers that Jill has to change you into 6 times a day.
No, that would count as wiping, and I don't believe in that around here.
You don't consent to that?
I do not consent to wiping. I use a bidet. Another trick I picked up from COVID when we were stealing all the toilet.
What about that old video of you saying I wipe my butt?
That was a lie. Right. I'll be honest. It's time to come clean. Unlike my butthole.
Okay. That's not coming clean, right?
No, that's why I got the bidet. Rooster, pay attention.
Okay.
I was about to say, that's not coming clean. That's coming musty. I'm sorry.
God damn it, Joe. Another one.
No, come on, Joe. Like, I mean, Joe.
What you do with them all? You just throw them on the floor? No wonder you can't find them.
Like, yeah.
Look, I've got a beautiful 1976 red convertible filing cabinet. It's amazing. It's very
convertible filing cabinet.
Like Tony G was saying earlier, that's why they call it a convertible. You can either drive it or you can store your documents in there. It's got a glove box. Have you never been inside of a car, Rooster? You don't know what that's where you keep the documents, is in the glove box.
Now, Joe, have
you ever left your house, Rooster? It's like I've got to learn you every week. It's unbelievable.
Now, Joe, I'm curious on that
Joe,
Corvette,
that's classified. You might want to put that down. Where you're keeping
all the... No, Joe, come on. Did you ever notice any of because you were sharing a residence with your proudest son, Hunter Biden. Did you ever notice any of the mirrors on the Corvette turn straight up?
No. I made sure to remove all the mirrors because I never. Have you ever had a vampire problem, Phil?
Oh.
What the
fuck? I just try to avoid the situation at all costs. All right.
Is that classified? Can you talk about it?
I'd rather not. I mean, look, Hillary and I are on good terms. I'd like to keep it that way.
Okay.
There you go. That's fair. That's fair. I mean, now, Joe, curious. Your homes have been don't sniff the classified. Don't sniff the classified.
Oh my God, that must.
I know the fact that it's forbidden fruit and you're not supposed to makes it all the more hot for you.
Joe, just because that's a classified secret, that's
sniffing the classified documents.
It must be less than 14 years old, because.
Oh God, it's classified documents from like the Obama, maybe Bush Jr. and Trump.
All those missing votes from the 2016 election.
Bazinga. So Joe, I'm going to give you the stage like I always do. Give you an opportunity
for me, Rooster.
Jesus, I want you to be able to explain to the American people one last time, once and for all, what happened, and explain it to us like we're 5.
Okay, so look, when you become a highly respected politician such as myself, lifelong even, decades upon decades, I've been very prominent in the highly respected position that is career politician. Most popular president in history, POTUS 46, check me out on, I don't know, one of those things, the social medias. And look, I got so popular that eventually I was selected to be the running mate of the second greatest president in history, Barack Hussein Obama, behind yours truly, obviously. And I was so lucky to be a part of that administration that, you gotta have a little keepsake, right? Like you can't learn everything in a day. Have you ever tried to learn everything in a day? You can't do it. And I tell you what, take that times 8, because we were there for 8 years, Brewster. 8 years. You can't learn everything you need to know about being a vice president in 8 years. You just can't.
What about the documents?
So listen, you got to take notes. You got to do your homework, your due diligence even. You got to make sure.
Steal paperwork?
You're not hearing me, chicken. Listen, what I'm saying is you got to take your homework home. You can't leave it in your locker. You can't blame it on the dog. You got to take your homework home. You got to do it. and I just happened to. Well, I forgot to do it. I took the homework home, but I forgot to do the homework. Okay, and then I misplaced it. Obviously, the dog didn't eat it. They found it in my convertible. They've been finding it ever since. I don't know. I don't know how this shit happens. It just happens. It's like the plague.
Joe, that's the problem is if this stuff happened and you don't know how, then that means that you cleared somebody that doesn't have security clearance to handle classified documents, Joe. And so
all right, listen here, Mr. KOE. The clearance we're talking about, I dictate that. How dare you question my authority? Okay, like I have the most trusted staff, family, and supporting cast you can imagine. Well, just today, Hunter went out.
Stuntman.
Hunter went out just earlier today, and he, like I said, he always takes the mirrors out of my car, out of my house. Make sure I don't have to deal with them pesky vampires. Security is priority number one in my household and my administration. That is a promise. So I don't know what you're getting at. I don't know negligence. That word's not even in my vocabulary unless we're talking about the orange pile of pig shit that came before me.
Well, no, that's what I'm getting at, Joe, is that like if you don't know how they got there, then that means like the problem is you can talk about your authority, but you didn't have that. Joe, no.
Joe.
Put the classified documents down. Joe,
God, we're going to get swatted. Joe, we're going to get swatted. You keep this up. They're going to think we have something to do with this.
See how closely I hold it to my chest? I keep it safe. It's my precious.
That one? You're keeping that one safe. I don't know if that one's consenting.
This one's lizard people.
But Joe, you didn't have that authority when you were vice president or senator. You had no reason to have any of that. You're not like Trump who could unilaterally declassify things. You just
right?
You just kind of stole them illegally.
What your position in DC is there, Mr. KOE?
Oh, I'm actually the king of extreme. So sorry, lowly little Joe. You still bow to the king.
Hey, listen here, KOE. You want to see a magic trick? Abracadabra, check your Hanes. I think you might just find a classified document back there, son.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Wait a minute. Wait. Oh my God! Whoa!
Jesus Christ!
Like David Blaine up in this bitch.
Fucking Joe planted documents on me. I feel violated. Oh my God! How did you do that, Joe?
This is what I'm talking about. Most popular president.
How did you molest me and plant documents on me so quickly? Are you the Flash?
Do you consent?
No, I didn't consent to any of that.
Oh, you consent. You will consent. Whether you know it or not, you will consent.
Joe's like, you will consent, even if I have to make you. It's like, Jesus, Joe.
Feel the consensual searches running.
This is all because we refuse to wear masks. Damn it.
That's all you had to do. But no, you didn't want to play by the rules.
Hey, that's a little
so now, you know what?
Later.
We're going to make up the rules as we go along.
That would be different from the last 3.5 years. How?
Face.
Here's a good one for you, Joe. Grow the Farm Up asks, Julian Assange consensually stored documents in your garage?
Oh,
Orange Julius. Yeah, no, it's a great place. I like to get my smoothies there.
Oh my God! I was about to
say,
know if
I got any documents at an Orange Julius, but
Grow the Farm Up. I'm shocked some lefty hasn't tried to take that. Like, Biden's trying to do the Julian Assange route. Like, I'm shocked we haven't heard that yet. Like, it's coming down the pike. But so Joe, like before we go, I gotta ask you. You've had a pretty fundamental betrayal in the last month. The FBI has been your most loyal, strong arm wing of the Democratic Party for decades. Basically, thanks to them and the intelligence agencies, you can almost single-handedly thank them for your election in 2020. Okay?
You did vote a lot. That's right.
But now, your precious FBI has turned on you. Apparently, you have offended the Clintons in some way, or they see some avenue to power here. But, Joe, the FBI has been all up in your business as of late. And I'm just wondering, like, you have to feel like a jilted lover at this point. Like, how are you recovering, Joe?
Look, everybody has their trysts, right? Like Romeo and Juliet. It's a tragic story. Bonnie and Clyde, Phil KOE and Tiberius D. Like, not all sexual relationships are without turmoil. It happens. Like, but you get through it. You get through it.
You hear that, Phil? You guys are gonna get through it.
You just gotta hammer it out. Sometimes you just gotta rent. You just gotta rent a motel room at a seedy motel about 20 miles down the road. You just gotta hammer that shit out. And you get through it.
It's great advice.
Let
Mr.
that
President.
mess be somebody else's problem.
Yeah.
Wow. Speaking from a lot of experience there, Joe.
That's a visual you wanted.
Either Joe or me, really.
Yeah, it's like all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's just no. Wow. There's it's.
I apologize. I just went deaf for a second. You would repeat whatever you said.
Well, no, we were just saying that's quite the imagery, whether that be Joe or me or anybody. None of it's. Sorry, Joe. Did your hearing aid go out there for a minute?
It did. It went out for about 10 seconds there.
Oh, okay. So
I was
you
just
probably couldn't hear.
Nodding like I usually do in front
You probably couldn't hear jack shit. Now that's now, Joe. Yeah, that earpiece. It's not just a hearing aid. That's also Joe. Put the classified. No,
you can't
Joe.
keep that.
You can't. No, Joe. You can't. No, don't sniff.
All right, Joe, set that down. Last things you want to say to the American people before you get us all in trouble?
Document control tips from Anthony Weiner.
I love how you work the word tips into that too. That's great.
But don't say so.
But Joe, let us all know anything you want to say to the American people before we move on and let you go. I know you're a busy man. You got a lot of documents to hide. So
let's see. Okay. Who killed JFK? Who killed MLK? And what I like to do in my spare time. Classified.
Jesus Christ.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You just Johnny Carsoned us, folks. Well done.
You're president of these United States.
Good
night, Joe.
Joke. Yeah. The current occupant of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yeah. However you want to call
it. And Joe, enjoy your only term. Yeah. That was so there we go. That was Joseph R. Biden stopping by to tell us what he thinks about things, or if he thinks, can he think, is he capable of thinking? And yes, now Tyler, you get a very special you get to decide if I, for the rest of the night, am drinking Beefeater gin, Nebraska's own Brickway gin, or Snoop Dogg's Indago gin. Just let me know which one you want, and I will get right into that. What Joe's sniffing all kinds of classified documents. Thank God he didn't Melanie, that was
we didn't know, we still don't, but we just went with it.
I ask that every time I see Joseph R. Biden talk. What are you doing about the collapse?
Half the women in his cabinet are women.
Yeah, half the women in his cabinet are women. Like, my God, this man just is a gaff machine. But and we're away. It's kind of funny. It's kind of like He-Man and Adam. Hey, Tony.
Hey.
Damn it, T, you missed him again.
What I missed? I had to check on the kids.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, Tony, look around just to be sure, because he magically did some David Blaine shit and left some classified documents with Phil. I just want to make.
Oh my God, they're
shit.
everywhere.
Oh God, yeah,
yeah. These are worthless.
Well, next week, Dog and Chicken Show will be just chicken talking to you guys, because these two are going to end up in federal prison,
Guantanamo Bay. Because that's what happens to normal people when they do shit like that. But yeah, so Tony, I'm sorry you missed Joe again. One of these days, you're gonna have to sit down and have an interview with Joe, just a one-on-one between Tony G and Joe Biden.
I would like that,
but you just seem to keep missing him. So it is what it is. It is what it is.
We're both very busy people. I get it.
And both equally as important. Let's be frank.
Man, that's a dig on Tony, you dick.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay.
Like, okay, yeah, we were grading on a curve. Like Joe Biden being the current steward and occupant of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and Tony G just being Tony G of the Dog and Chicken Show, and Tony the Rod 2.0 on TikTok. Like,
thank you.
You know, I mean, let's be frank. Yeah. Now, if you were to get like a Rumble on top of that, then yeah, definitely way more. Yeah. But yes, and also big shout out to all of our Rumble listeners too. But so that was sad.
Something.
That was sad. Every time we see Joe, it's a little more sad. It's like, wow, people decided that should be in charge. But yeah, Joe, enjoy your only turn. But so now as we move onward and upward.
We got 20 minutes till the top of the hour. I say we jump right into keep it with politics. Ilhan Omar was voted off of.
Since Tyler hasn't said, I'm just going to take a shot at Indago Gin.
Fair enough. Tyler probably jumped off. He'll come back and then tell you to take another shot later. Well,
oh darn it,
cheating.
Well, folks, the first shot of gin for the night, and you know the toast: to fighting, stealing, and drinking. If you're going to fight, may it be for a friend. If you're going to steal, may it be a lover's heart. And if you're going to drink, by God, I hope it's with me.
Get her done.
Been a long time since I had gin. Forgot about how great it can be. Yay. All right. So, yes. Hooray, but yeah, look down there, KOE Nation on YouTube, KOE Nation on Twitch, also KOE Nation on TikTok. Guys, sorry, I'm never above shameless self-promotion.
No, you're not.
All right. Ilhan Omar.
Ilhan Omar got voted off of the Foreign Affairs Committee?
I believe so.
I think that's which one she was on, which led to several hilarious moments that really deserve some attention.
AOC was hulking up at one point, like
we're gonna.
Let me tell you something, brother, and then we're gonna go wild in Madison Square Garden, brother.
Like, yeah, it was
the AOC one was pretty. That one's probably the most famous out of here. I'll play that one real quick, and then I know Yank's got another one ready to rock and roll as soon as we get through with this. This is good shit. So this is about a minute-long video, and this is, well, it's a little bit of gaslighting. It's a little bit of drama. It's a little bit of make pretend, a little bit of defamation. It's got it all rolled into one.
Wow. That's efficient.
It is. She's really good. She's really coming into her own. And remember last year she was wearing that oversized white coat when she was yelling at everybody, and it just looked awkward. She looked like a little kid in dad's jacket. So at least her clothes fit this time. That's good.
A broken watch still right twice a day. AOC in terms of fashion choice is probably one of the most fashionable people on Capitol Hill. I'm just going to go ahead and say, like,
she's no Fetterman. All right.
Like,
no.
Okay. Yeah, there's a good one. No, don't get me wrong. Like the Carhartt look for dudes. It's like, okay, is that guy a student, a certified forklift driver, or a multi-millionaire? It's one of those three. Like, there's no like
certified forklift operator.
Yes, but
essentially certified.
So this speech, though, like I said, it was like, it reminded me of Hulk Hogan hulking up, and like in the 80s when he would get like sweaty and had just probably done a bump of coke right off camera right before they started cutting the promo. And let me tell you something, brother. And then like him and Macho Man would be like, oh, and it's gonna be incredible. And like, so this was a promo where she really turned it up to 11. And so when you understand that she's cutting a promo here, then it becomes a lot more entertaining and enjoyable to watch.
All right, Can we do it now?
Rock and roll.
Yeah, as long as it's consensual.
God damn it. Hit the wrong button. Here we go.
Thank you. Now, as a fellow New Yorker, I think one of the things we talk about here is also one of the disgusting legacies after 9/11 has been the targeting of racism against Muslim Americans throughout the United States of America. And this is an extension of that legacy. Consistency. There is nothing consistent.
Should we have a bingo card for this?
Yeah.
for the racism and incitement of violence against
racism
in this body. I had a member of the Republican caucus threaten my life, and you all and the Republican caucus rewarded him with one of the most prestigious committee assignments.
She's hulking up.
Congress, don't tell me this is about consistency.
She's hulking up.
Tell me that this is about a condemnation of anti-Semitism.
Oh my God!
Tell me. You have a member of the Republican caucus.
Alexandria Mania's running wild.
An entire amount of tropes, and also elevated her to some of the highest
down and it hurts inside.
Women of color in the United States of America. Don't tell me, because I didn't get a single
time has expired.
My life was threatened. Thank you.
Smack.
Man, I got attitude.
Oh, I like that. So
what did the note card say to the podium? Smack.
So when you realize like she's going, like she's moving, she's getting a, like, because you know she's a dancer. She likes to get up and move.
I was waiting for her somebody to just go raise the roof. Like I was waiting for some like
she was getting
old
energized
90s rap to play,
and so it's one of those like, okay, like you always have to ask whenever anybody in Congress makes one of those speeches. You always have to ask, like, all right, was there a little party in the bathroom maybe amongst a few folks? Because, like, since the 80s, you've had to ask that question.
Phil,
okay?
Phil, I don't know what you're implying, but you obviously didn't listen to a thing that she said. We're targeting people of color. Nothing white is entering her body.
Yeah, it's funny. Targeting people of color while she like literally is bashing people and accusing people of doing all kinds of shit. She said Marjorie Taylor Greene was talking about Jewish space lasers.
Tony, while I don't appreciate the content, the structure of that joke was like, yeah, I'm sorry, you needed every word of that joke to make it work.
Yeah,
like that.
I was trying to move on past it for you, Phil, but
so yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene and her have been getting along really well lately. And like, what was? I don't know if you have it.
I love Grow the Farm Up's comment. This is great. Have we pulling it up? I have no mouse.
Okay, all right. As a New Yorker, can you smell what the Ocasio is cooking?
That's great.
Like, oh yeah, that was
a domination.
Like that was an old school, like 1999 style Attitude Era promo. Like that's what that was. And so it was like I said, if you're looking at it as a piece of performance, sublime. Okay, if you're looking at it from the perspective of how the future of our country can possibly move forward, it is absolutely fucking chloroform.
I know I'm not her demographic and I'm not her key like sheeple to
Oh,
influence,
but you are.
It wasn't. I don't know.
You can be if you want to be.
I wasn't impressed by that. That came off as like whiny and belligerent.
You need to watch the rest of them,
Tony.
I'm good.
Tony, you got to understand, though.
Life's too short.
We're not her fans. To her fans,
exactly.
that was,
if you want Stone Cold Steve Austin to stop a mud hole in their ass, give me a hell yeah.
And every Democrat that I've ever met in my whole life that I know on Discord and Twitch is, hell yeah! And so
I know. I led with that. It's pandering to her audience. Yes, of course it is. But you're not going to win anybody else over with that because the delivery, while it was intense, it was very uninspiring. It was just a fucking word salad. Like,
it's like, I'm sorry. Like, I always got to push back on this. You're not going to win anybody over. To me, at this point in this year of our Lord 2023, if you can point to me somebody who is undecided as to what they think about the Republicans and the Democrats, I'm going to either you're pointing me to somebody that's a political neophyte that's just new to the game and doesn't know what they're like, doesn't know anything, or you're pointing to me to a goddamn liar. Okay, like I'm sorry, like all the folks are like, I just don't know. I'm just so moderate. Like, I'm not talking about you, T, but I'm talking about some other.
I feel like
everybody kind of was.
No, not you, but it is pointed at some
totally
other.
Not you, as I point.
Totally not the moderate.
As I point at you, but like no, like
fucking normie.
I'm sorry. No, might have been.
I'm not pointing at you so much that I'm legitimately going to bring you up immediately.
Yes. Well, no, like because whenever we get into moderate normie,
that's how little I'm pointing at you.
Yeah. Totally didn't mean you, Tony G. I'm not even going to mention that. Are we going to talk about it? No, we're not going to talk about it. Yeah, we're not going to talk about it.
Definitely not you there in the top right corner of the screen there, Tony G.
But no, like when it comes to the undecided voter, like the undecided, like I just like if you were somebody that was undecided between like Trump or Biden, or you're going to be undecided between Biden and DeSantis or Biden and Trump in the rematch, which the rematch will be pretty sweet. Like I don't even know what to say because our politics have gotten so much more disparate over the last 2 decades that like people who you say, oh, the parties are exactly the same. Not anymore. I mean, like you clearly get 2 very different outcomes when you vote one or the other. So like I think the idea that there's truly like I've seen a couple of times. It's like when we had it with tomfoolery, when we had it with Tiberius D, they're like, well, no, I'm a moderate that's a little bit on the right. And then when we really examine the ideas, like, well, no, I'm just a moderate.
You're like one of the farthest left people we've talked to. Okay.
Yeah. Like it's like, so, okay, so you self-identify as being on the right.
Pretty much every lefty, though, kind of goes, well, I'm a moderate. And you're like, no, you're not.
Yeah. Once you start drilling, I was like,
it's like Hassan Piker. Yeah, I'm totally moderate.
Like, oh my God.
You're a communist.
Like, yeah. Now, granted, he's perfect. He's like, so like, you know how Pokemon, when they get to their final form, he's a socialist in its final form because he's having other people pour money into him, giving them nothing in return and just pouring splendor and luxury all over himself. So
and
that's socialism
for them. Yeah.
That's socialism's final.
Because I can't believe how poor you guys are. You should give me some more money.
Exactly. And then he'll make fun of people for being poor. It's like,
and then he'll call somebody a grifter and just laugh. Like, okay.
Yep. So, but yeah, like,
anyway, let's stick on with the Ilhan Omar, because the most hilarious part about this whole thing. So like all the squad comes out, like one of them cries and like they make this big performance and there's like nobody like listening. Like if they zoomed out, there's like nobody sitting down in the chambers actually listening to all these arguments. And then they all come in for a vote. So Justin, we can start pulling that one up they do have a small video clip of the vote, and it is amazing. I don't know if we're there. Yeah.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those in favor say no. No. It's the opinion of
perfect.
I gotta do it again.
The audio was legit.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those in favor say no. No. It's the opinion of
wow.
It's perfect.
That's a little too on the nose.
They made the meme real again.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow. That that's
I love it when
a little
memes,
too on the nose.
I love it when Pinocchio becomes a real boy and memes become real life.
That was your House of Representatives screaming no. Like a meme.
Children. Like, Tony, what gin you want? Brickway, Beefeater, or Snoop Dogg?
I would like Brickway.
My favorite part about the screaming though is like that she lost a seat. It's not like somebody died or she's losing her fucking like position in government. She doesn't get to sit in meetings.
Yeah, she lost a chair.
And she's gonna get it back eventually when the Democrats take the House again. So it's like it's like not a permanent thing. Like, get over it. It's not
when Ty was cynically saying that he doesn't trust Trump with national security secrets. Like, to me, it's like, all right, well, a lot of folks on the right also don't trust Ilhan Omar, Swalwell, Schiff, and the like with national security secrets. So, you know, if it's good for the goose, good for the gander, but also grow the farm up here. Yeah, even if you're not enthusiastic about the wider GOP, the left has gotten dangerous, and most people without huge narcissistic egos are realizing how dangerous the far left has become. And folks, to perhaps better days for future generations that will wise up to the weird, wild, wacky ways of our world. God bless.
No.
Ooh, that 48-hour filtration at least helps a little bit.
A little bit. A little bit.
All right.
All right.
We have literally sent intellectual 12-year-olds to Congress. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, there is no IQ test to get into Congress.
No. On either side, by the way.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah. Tony, chug.
Sorry, buddy.
Chug. Ziggy zag. Yo. I was like,
right.
Oh, okay, you're right. I thought you were going to have to
I got one.
Okay.
It's consensual.
God damn it. Good thing you didn't drop any of those during my shots. I would have spit taked. Okay. Cody's just like, thank God I waited a half second to hit that chug. Consent sliding down your throat.
Yeah.
Got it.
We never did talk about what we're drinking tonight. I'm like doing some little Buffalo Trace, but then right now I'm sipping on Macallan 12, the Sherry Oak. Sherry Oak
man.
cask. I haven't had scotch in a while, so I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna crack open some scotch.
Tony, what are you drinking on?
I have been sipping on
super yummy.
I'm a little jelly, but I think I got at least something close. Maker's Mark, the cherry on top.
Oh, yes.
This is actually an entrant into our Sweet 16 Maker's Mark tournament, which is going to be dropping right after the Irish whiskey tournament concludes on KOE Nation. So, something to keep your eyes on there, folks. That one was interesting because we had the Lincoln bracket, the Hy-Vee bracket, an Iowa bracket, and a South Dakota bracket. So I don't think anybody's done at nearly as exhaustive Maker's Mark Midwestern.
That was a lot of Maker's Mark.
God, that was
delicious.
Fun. Yeah. So that's coming up soon. Oh Lord. Okay. Hang on.
Oh wow.
Sean Connery. Oh God damn it. Gin and juice. Lay back.
With Phil drinking gin.
All right. All right, Trey. Do you want me to do Brickway, Nebraska gin, Snoop Dogg's and Doggo gin, or do you want me to do Beefeater or London Dry gin? I will let you decide that, sir. So, God Almighty, what were we talking about? My mind just went blank.
We were still talking about 8-year-olds running our country. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, with the more politicized our country is becoming, we're now getting to the point where literally the Democrats elected a dead man just because
that actually happened.
Yeah. All right, Beefeater, son of a biscuit. There's not much left here, so thank God. Now, guys, Chicken, you know how much I respect a lot of things Scott Adams says?
Yep.
And he had an idea the other day, which I really liked, but it's not really possible, but I liked the impetus of the idea. And it was the seed that planted a much better idea in my mind. Because he talked about, and this is true, one of the greatest things that happened in our civilization was the separation of church and state. That was one of the best ideas in Western civilization, right next to not shitting in our own river where we get our drinking water.
That's fair.
It's that good of an idea. And he had the idea of separating politics from corporations, but you can't really do that. Because there's some corporations that are just going to pander to politics. But what we need as a species is a separation of science and politics. If we are going to allow science to be politicized to the point where political pressure can now make something a scientific reality, we have no chance as a species. We will not survive 1 billion years as a species if we cannot separate science from politics, because right now the two are inextricably tied. That will be the great, sad legacy of the 20th century and the first quarter of the 21st century.
Because of an opinion like that was probably one of the smarter things Scott Adams has ever said, because we all lived through what happens when science and politics are conjoined. Then you become the science.
Yes. Well, his was separating corporate from politics, but literally on the drive back, it was where the idea of me, we have to separate politics from science. That will be the next great revolution of the next generation. And Trey Powell, London Dry Gin, is with a chagrin and not a grin. God bless.
Yuck.
Why? God, Nebraska's gin is better than London's gin. God almighty.
Yeah.
How many gin shots have I done tonight, T?
That's only 3.
Okay.
For you.
I'll take it. All right, but so that's just been an idea because we're talking about politics, and it's something that because we're getting so politicized, we have to find a way to divorce our politics from our science. Otherwise, I mean, we saw over the last 3 years, folks, every one of us saw what happened when science became politicized. And none of us liked it one damn bit.
I don't feel like science being utilized as a tool or a weapon of the government is a new concept, but I don't think it's ever been so prevalent or obvious to a large portion of the public.
Yeah, it's kind of like before. It's like, I don't think that, religion has been a huge tool that the government's used, but as of late, it's gotten like, the folks at like the Renaissance and like the Crusades could say that. And so unfortunately, we're getting to that point where all right, I'll just read this real quick. Grow the Farm Out says, if you make all, quote, IRS approved science organizations and grab that tax exemption, you might actually be able to get that done. You're going to get a lot of boilerplate university funded science. Imperfect. I'm not saying that there's going to be a few bumps on the road.
As long as it's consensual, I guess we're okay with it.
Yes, but the idea that our science can be influenced by politics is a terrifying notion that has only really sunken into the body politic and the
possibly have killed hundreds of thousands of people in the last few years.
Maybe we will let the audience decide that.
Trey
Facebook
brings up a really frustrating comment here. Facebook timer has.
Yeah, I didn't get alert either.
How long have you been rolling tonight? Yeah, we started an hour ago, and here's the thing: we've been begging everybody, yes, subscribe to us on Facebook because they don't give a shit about what we say or do. Blah blah blah. It's so much better than YouTube. Blah blah blah. Here's the problem: every time I get a notification for this show on my phone,
it's like 2 days later.
No, I click on it and immediately it says couldn't load video. And then the notification fucking disappears. That's if I get the notification at all. So while we do appreciate the platform that Facebook gives us, their ability to notify the people that want to watch us has become absolute dog shit. I don't know what's going on there, but they've got to fix this. There's got to be a workaround. There's got to be something else we can do. And the only thing I can think about immediately off the top of my head is you can become a paid subscriber for $5 a month on Facebook. But other than that.
Yes. But the social media platforms, they're always trying to hold down this amazing content to stop us from getting out to you beautiful people. But if you do, folks, send us to a friend, because if you haven't told your friends about us, can you really call these great people your friends? So you're just withholding.
Hey, if you don't want to deal with Zuck or WikiWiki, you can join. We got 8 over on Rumble watching right now. You can join those guys because they know what the fuck's going on. So,
great
platform. Rumble, if you've got anything you want to say, comment wise, drop it in there. We'll pop it up one way or another.
Or might just have to read it. I haven't figured
Grow the farm out.
Right.
But better than what the next 20 years hold if we allow this to continue politicizing jabs, etc., or jobs, or what, I don't know. God damn it. Tyler Williams says, now you can choose Brickway, Indago, or Beefeater.
And no, Trey, you got your first one in before we hit the top of the hour. So the new hour just started.
Son of a biscuit. Hey, chicken.
Sorry. Was that classified? Did you not give consent to share that information?
You're keeping classified information, just throwing it all out there, chicken.
Oh shit.
Tyler says pick Snoop Dogg gin is closest to me.
One that tastes less bad.
Well, this one was just a less of a reach.
It's a man who loves his gin. I didn't have to reach my arm as far for this.
Well, Phil's taking that one there. I'm gonna use the little boys' room. If you guys want to start the next story, we got there's 2 articles. It's all about war with China. So I know Phil's got plenty to talk about China, and I'll jump back in.
Okay, well we'll stall for time.
Okay, fair enough. I'll be back.
All right, well,
Not
folks.
another one of those Joe Biden.
Oh man, I'm shocked Joe didn't like pull one from behind his ear.
Everywhere.
Well, T, you know what? I'm gonna take a solo layout for a second here, folks, and this is another shot of gin for all you beautiful people out there at Big Buckin' Empire, folks. If you're not a subscriber to Big Buckin' Empire on Facebook, you don't get to tell the performers on this show what to do. You don't get to tell us what to do at the drop of a hat. To do that, you got to be a subscriber. And folks, I am not a fan of gin. Like it's one of my least favorite things. But here I am for you beautiful people, for the Big Bucket Empire, for the KOE Nation, for the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. Folks, this gin's for you. Yummy.
How was it?
It was gin, Tony. It was gin.
So delicious, right? Got it. I'm just glad. I'm glad that we've discovered something. So I'm glad to have found something that you love almost as much as politics in gin. And it makes me so warm and fuzzy to know that so many people weekly care enough to tune in to the great Big Bucket Empire and the Dog and Chicken Show to make you enjoy more of it. It warms my cockles.
Oh, thank you, T. It's like I'm shocked you guys haven't tried to convince me to do like some sort of extended gin tournament.
Yeah, well, no, because then you recruit us to be a part of it, and I wouldn't want to step on your toes.
Oh, okay. That's one of those that you'll let me outsource to some other talent.
Pretty much, gladly. Tyler Williams, see, when I saw you for the first time at the cabin, you should have never said you love gin so much, buddy.
Oh, Tyler, we love you. Tony Gin.
I knew that's why.
Oh, snap.
I knew that's why he left. I knew that's why.
Fuck you, drink gin.
Hey, chicken, when you get back, gin. Fuck you. You can play that.
Wow, that just saved me 2 gin shots this hour, folks. I am really relieved right now.
I'm not even going to fucking waste a glass on this.
Just chug, 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 chug. Trey, I keep trying to make the gin tournament a thing. Oh God, why, Trey? Like that's gonna be really great on a curve. Like, okay, which gin sucks the least?
Well, you will. You will. I will see to it. Okay, LTD.
Like, I mean, Joe Biden was able to get some. We'll
wait. Why don't
you
drive to the nearest gas station real quick? We'll wait.
Wow. Tony's like, yeah, he's got a gas
I know
station
there's one like a block away from you.
Yeah, so you just go in, get the cheapest gin they have.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he does have LTD at his house, should we like that? We could settle for LTD.
You better pick up a bottle of gin before the next live, because Fuck you, chicken. Fuck you.
Chicken's like, I don't drink and drive. Well, then you best get on your bicycle and fring.
You can walk. We'll wait.
It's probably literally like 3s of degrees out, so you'll be fine.
But it's gorgeous.
Oh, it'll be great. Chicken, 2 shots of LTD. So, my. Thank you, Trey. I can't wait to meet up, Phil. It will be a great time, I promise. Like, oh no, Tyler. That's kind of like one of those, Phil, I got something for you, and it's what you deserve. And I can't wait to see the look on your face when I give it to you. Like, that's
consensual.
Yes. -14 tonight. Well, then, if you think about how it's only 1 block, it's -14, and your body is 98.6 degrees. By the time you get back, your body's going to be like 82, 86 degrees. You'll be fine.
6 bottles. Ooh, baby. 6
Jesus
bottles.
God.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Okay, so Chicken obviously needs to pick up a bottle of gin for next week.
Yep.
That's 1. 2, I'm hoping to have a surprise or 2 for next week's show. I'm hoping.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be great.
Or 3, I could just bring back Tiberius and we just like shit on the whole show and just like yell at each other.
Phil's in timeout. Just like that.
But fine equals dead. Like, nah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah. 2/3 of last week's show was just Phil and Tiberius like hate arguing at each other. It was like parts of it were great. Mostly the parts where I almost interjected.
Almost. You almost got a word. Like, Tony, to your credit, you almost did get a word in edgewise.
Almost. So close. Like, I was right there. It's fucking close.
Chicken goes, yeah, Phil, that wasn't consensual. Like, oh, the cold, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Trey, Jesus Christ. But yeah, so that was a fun time. That was a fun time last week. And, you know, like, Tiberius, I'm sure he's going to be sending me a Christmas card. I'm sure it's all good.
I would check it for pubes.
Fair. That's fair. So, Tony, moving onward and upward, China. We're going to see China, a war with China. Now, I mentioned Peter Zeihan or whatever. He's basically Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate for Moderate Normies. He's been calling for you.
Hang on, Phil.
He's been he's been calling.
What's been going on, fellas?
Nothing, Dick.
I feel love. Like love. And Phil, when I said it wasn't consensual, I was talking about the Tiberius thing.
Oh, okay. Well, he just needed to acquiesce to the fact that my arguments were better. Like, that's basically what that was. And it took a little time, but he eventually aligned. So, all right.
This is my last bottle.
2 shots of LTD.
No, it's not.
It is right now, but.
Oh, not for long.
So, 2 shots from who?
One from Tony.
2 total. Okay.
Yeah. One from me and one from Trey.
I was like, Trey doesn't get to give me 2 shots. He already made Phil drink gin.
That's true.
Oh God, I'm tremble whenever I fucking like get ready to drink this because it's so goddamn bad. Cheers, folks.
Oh, that's
gotta wash that one down.
Wash down that liquor with more liquor. That's the way.
With good liquor. Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God, made good liquor taste like shit.
Let's say your tummy's just loving it.
Yummy in my tummy.
I am trembling.
Oh my God, you filled that to the brim.
Chicken's like, I'm getting shit facing out. Fuck you.
Let's do it. No cheers, no special fucking quote. Fuck you, Phil.
Ziggy zaggy.
Oh, you gotta make everything so like. Now I can't one up Phil on that one. God damn it.
Consensual.
Sliding down your throat.
That was close.
I should have said it quicker. Damn.
Yeah. Concession. Back to Big Buck and proper. Just the OG3 with Yank putting it down for all of we. Yes. Thank you.
Hell yes.
Arm up.
Speaking of, I think Yank's got something for us.
Don't go over the line, chicken. One toke over the line, sweet Jesus. One toke over the line. Down
I like going over the line.
Railway station.
That's what most of you guys love me for, right? Is going over the line.
All right. So what in the world is this?
And what is this? I can't hear anything.
Yeah, I don't have any audio. Yank.
No audio. Nope. You got to click the little.
Damn it.
You
unshare that screen and start it over.
It was gonna be seamless.
Was this something you guys have conjured up?
It's something he put together.
This is something I know nothing of.
Me either.
I caught a preview of it.
Oh no.
Is this Tony cutting a promo?
No, it's not. Thank God.
You need to click the. There we go.
Chicken show. So this is our original intro song.
Retro.
Yeah. Why does it say my name over you?
Because
Was they that bad at editing?
This
Yeah,
is
apparently.
episode 2.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dose. Still got to do some editing on that first one. That was a little clunky and
One was awful.
and yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it
Sniffing a
turns
lot.
out YouTube has done a absolutely piss poor job.
God, I feel like I'm on a Zoom call at work right now.
able to edit your videos once they're uploaded. Who would have known, right? A video site with terrible capabilities of video editing. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's what Tony's room that he's sitting in now used to look like.
Before I started the
Anyway,
whiskey collection.
So kind of pick up where we
And I had a
I do
cold.
apologize, gentlemen.
some future topics last time we were at it last week. And
I had a really bad
one of them
microphone
came
and a
up,
fucking
and
cold
I-
this time.
Honestly, I had my mind made up about
I had a pretty good mic. It picked up every time I sniffed.
The Donald
No,
Trump mic,
I think that was me sniffing.
the Coke mic.
Was it? I don't know.
Where
Uh-oh. And let me tell you something, American people, I will totally fight you just like I fight the Colombian cartels.
Like a little Coke every now and then.
without any
Who
more
doesn't love
mystery to it. Paying college players. We you know us
Yeah, that's totally Tony.
long history of
And then now Phil's blowing his nose. He's like, "Oh man, all that sniffing."
Yeah, it made me suddenly super aware of everything going on inside my sinuses. I was like, yeah, I could maybe clear my nostrils a little bit. So it's like, yeah, that one, boy, howdy to that made me super There we go. But yeah, so we did
That
get
was
better,
over 3
folks. As you
years
can
ago.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of feel
That was
like
what-
George Carlin at the end of the first Bill and Ted movie. They do get better.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into China.
China.
I don't know which one Yanks got pulled up first. I guess it doesn't really matter because it's all about the speculation that's to come. Chinese spy balloon. If you were on Twitter today, you've seen this, by the way. Chinese spy balloon the size of 3 buses is spotted floating over Montana for days as U.S. mobilizes F-22 Raptors to intercept. Biden wanted to shoot it down. Good on him, old man. But Pentagon advised him not to do it because of falling debris, and we kind of want to give him some information.
Yeah.
Because I was about to say, it's like, but Pentagon advised him not to because of threats and bribery from the Chinese government. I mean, because of falling debris, of course.
Because we want those documents.
Classified. Yeah.
Mm.
So I'm sorry, but like,
I'm
the
sure it was a
Chinese-
consensual decision not to shoot it down.
During the Cold War, this would have been like international incident. Like this would have been like huge
Act of war.
fucking issue. Yeah, like just shy of an act of war because there was times that they shot down some of our pilots flying over Russia, and we shot down some of theirs. And you know how it is. Like when they're flying over us, this is an evil act of war. When we're flying over them, we're just checking things out.
Yeah, it was a
Window
humanitarian mission.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, Trey makes a good point because there is so much in Montana for it to fall on. True.
Yeah. True.
You might,
I mean,
you
yeah,
might hit a cow and then it would fart and get methane in the air, and then AOC would be really pissed.
that would be the season finale to the next season of Yellowstone.
Oh God,
Well,
wouldn't that be great?
We're just out here on the ranch, and oh my God, Chinese spy balloon just falls on us right now and kills one of your favorite characters from the season.
John Dutton would have shot it down for the government.
Yeah.
Yep, just
and then he
I
would have
shot it.
covered it up. He would have
Yep.
taken it out to the. He would have taken it out to the state line and kicked it over the goddamn cliff.
Take it down to the train station. Yep.
Yep.
It's like
Tony
I-
still has not watched Yellowstone. I can tell.
Not yet. I'm gonna
Basically, Tony, all the people who thought they were bikers because they watched 3 or 4 episodes of Sons of Anarchy now think they're cowboys because they watched 3 or 4 episodes of Yellowstone.
Okay.
So that there, now you're kind of.
It all started with The Sopranos, though, because everybody thought they were Italian mobsters there for a while.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Yeah.
So anyway, Massive Chinese surveillance balloon has been hovering over northern United States for the last few days. Senior defense officials confirmed on Thursday, with Joe Biden being briefed, including or Wednesday's options included shooting it out of the sky. Biden suggested the high altitude balloon should not be shot down after it was spotted. So there was the video footage I seen on Twitter. So this is actually a really good image they have on here of what it looked like a little bit up close. But people do like the moon zoom in with the really cool Samsung phones that does the AI like artificial intelligence fill in, because it's not like real optical. This thing obviously isn't as far away as the moon, but it looked at about the same size of the moon. So there was a video of somebody like zooming in on the moon, and then they turned to the left, and then they zoomed in on this, and you can see the little black, like it looks like a satellite, but it's like the probably solar panels and shit like that. You could see that kind of imprinted on it, and it kind of looked like the moon, but that imprinted on it. So people were like, why are there two moons right now? Like people were really confused and like recording videos, post them on Twitter and shit. But yeah, it turns out it was a Chinese moon.
Now, what's interesting is Trey Powell, if Chinese balloon is shot down Montana, does it fall on anything? Trey in the Woods question. Where was it launched from? Canada. Now, actually, fascinatingly enough, a lot of people don't know this. During World War II, the Japanese had figured out that there's an air current that travels over the Pacific Ocean, literally into the greater northwest of the United States. So, like, we're talking like Oregon, Washington State, Northern California into Idaho, and then eventually Montana. And if you would launch these balloons off this certain mountain in Japan, it would actually float over the entire Pacific Ocean, and they put a lot of bombs on them. Now, the problem is only one of them actually made it, and it fell somewhere in Oregon. And so it was a big fucking deal during the war. But that does prove the concept that if you get to a high enough point, you can actually pull a balloon all the way across the Pacific Ocean. And here it's got solar panels to power it, so it doesn't need to be recharged or repowered in any way. So this very likely could have been launched from somewhere in the Asian continent and sent this way.
Yeah, just shove it up in the jet stream, and yeah,
Off
to
it
Phil's
goes.
point.
Where is
and
it
that flies
now?
right over Nebraska, Kansas. Usually, that jet stream's usually pretty consistent.
Where is this thing now?
Well, we can read through the article to see what they did.
Well,
with
I
it.
just my first thought is I'm kind of glad they didn't shoot it down, because I'm guessing that wasn't filled with helium. It was probably filled with like COVID.
Well, that's a good.
There is
point.
that. Like, yeah, the Pentagon could be like, yeah, Mr. President, no, they want us to shoot it down. That's like, it's gonna spread the next super, like, it's just some, what's in it.
It's gonna rain down COVID-23 all over all.
There's just a dude in there that's like floating up there that's got a lot of sniffles, and they're telling him to just piss off the side.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, a lot of Californians and New Yorkers moved to Montana. So,
19th century
Montana.
U2, it's thine beautiful day. Do not let thee slip away, thine beautiful day. Oh, sorry, guys.
All right, moving on. It's delivering that Emmy to Cuomo. Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little late there. A little late. He's now disgraced. So yeah, they must have launched that shit a few years ago.
As soon as Cuomo got disgraced, he just all of a sudden fell out of the news and nobody cared anymore. How about that?
No care. No.
Sounds
Because
like a political hit job.
Democrats don't prosecute other Democrats. They just do the no givesies backsies.
Yep.
The other U2 feel. Oh, so you mean like the evil U2 in the Elevation video? Elevation.
Oh.
Ooh.
Tony, you removed the wrong fucking tile. Like,
ooh. Like, yes.
Oh my God. I need a mouse. God, I fucking hate this. Oh, okay. He's muted. It's all good. All right. You can scroll down, Justin, to see. We can see what happened here with the balloon, and then we can move on to the real, the next story after that, if there is any.
I believe in you.
All right. Worried about debris. Yeah, yada yada yada. Can keep going down.
Thank you, Trey. Thank you.
Let's see.
I'm nothing if not a consummate showman, gentlemen.
Once the balloon was detected, the U.S. government acted immediately to protect against the collision of sensitive information, they said, without specifying what actions they took. Defense source said, we know exactly where the balloon is, exactly what it is passing over, and we are taking steps to be extra vigilant so we can mitigate any foreign intelligence risk. The high-altitude balloon is spotted over Billings on Wednesday, having flown in over the Aleutian Islands through Canada and into Montana. The Pentagon said the balloon is still over the U.S., but they would not say where.
Now, I'm going to say, calling back to this comment, 19th century U2, this is like the Pentagon and the Chinese government's relationship here kind of reminds me of like 19th century homosexuals. It's like, yes, our relationship need not be specified. We know where things are. We know everything is as it should. Everything is as it shall be. This is my living assistant, Raul. Our relationship need not be specified in any way. And yeah, so that's the Chinese government and the Pentagon. Yes, it's all consensual, all consensual. Yes, we just live in the same flat in the 19th century. I'm just a gentleman with a rather long handshake, living with a confirmed bachelor. And so, yeah, that's kind of what, like, there's a bunch of secret shit going on between them, and they ain't telling us, and they know a lot of shit that they're not telling us. There's some shit going on behind closed doors that we probably actually don't really want to know.
Yes. We can move on to the next story, Justin. I think we get the gist of that one. We're never going to find out what happened to that fucking balloon. I guarantee that.
Trey, as soon as it hits Appalachia, you're going to have every hillbilly shooting.
Yeah, there's going to be some high-powered rifles knocking that shit down. So this one, General's memo spurs a debate. Could China invade Taiwan by 2025?
Yes.
The real question that came from this memo, I'll let Justin zoom in. I can't read any of that shit. Is
you talk to your kids about fentanyl?
Right. Now, oh my God, that is what it said.
That's what the fucking ad says.
And Justin clicks it right away.
The real deal on fentanyl. Oh my God.
Wow. Okay. Jesus Christ. So anyway, let's see. Does it show the memo anywhere in here? Like, I really don't give a shit about the article because the memo is what's important. There's quotes on any of it.
There's Cuomo.
Basically, so a 4-star general. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I will say that most of my colleagues who are in the China circle do not believe that the Chinese attack on Taiwan is likely in the next 5 years. Yun Sun, director. So that's not the general that did this. This is the Hill getting from somebody else. So this 4-star general, if we find it, we find it. If not, that's fine.
Oh basically, my God, a Cuomo ad.
Yeah.
He found work.
He's on News Nation. What's News Nation? Anyway.
Basically something not as big as Big Buck and Empire.
True.
Yeah.
It's
God, it is relentless. There's a video ad.
It's Cuomo's vanity project.
The Hill's pimping fucking Cuomo hard, News Nation hard. So anyway, this 4-star general said, sent out a memo to prepare in the next few months for potential all-out war with China. And he said that he thinks the escalation will continue to rise and we will be forced into a full-scale war with China by 2025. And he demanded his troops that are under him in the Air Force to be ready within the next couple months. I think he put April as the day, or okay, maybe it says March there. So like now there's I looked this up and I read into this one a little bit, but there's over 740 or something like that 4-star generals across the country. So, you know, we have how many people in the House and the Senate? Like we have more 4-star generals than the crazy fucks that we have in the House and the Senate, right? So there's going to be some kooky bastards that say some crazy shit and go a little off the rails. But Phil said it earlier, broken clock is still right twice a day. What say you folks? What are your thoughts? Like, we just seen this balloon escalation today, which happened after that 4-star general released that. We know what's going on in Taiwan, and that's just a matter of time. And they actually flew jets, I believe, today or yesterday, again invading Taiwan's airspace, making Taiwan scramble their air defenses.
Making a point.
This shit's continuing, and it's escalating right now.
Now, did Taiwan open fire on these Chinese planes?
Nope.
That's all you need to know. Sorry, folks. That's all you need to know. China was making a point. This is our airspace, and we're proving it. Now, here's the thing. China has a problem. It wants Taiwan back badly. There's a lot of essential manufacturing there for things that are coming down the pike, technologies that we're going to need, and it all centers around Taiwan right now.
Well, Taiwan is basically old China, the old Republic of China before the communists took over.
Yes, but like there's a lot
That's where
of
everybody escaped to, and they tried to establish, like,
to my understanding, lithium battery manufacturing, like one of the biggest manufacturers is Taiwan. And so if you want to have any piece of the microchip, the lithium battery game, you better take it from Taiwan. And that's why the America wants it so bad. But the China basically knows the minute that they can make their move without direct reprisal from America, then this isn't going to be like the Ukraine issue. All China has to do is just naval blockade. And that's it. And that's pretty much it.
Small amphibious invasion, and there's already plans.
You don't even invade. It's just it's an old school, like a naval blockade is basically the old school siege of a castle, but on water and on a bigger scale. You just cut off their resources from the outside world, starve them out, and eventually they come to the negotiating table. So once that happens, China's going to take back Taiwan, and Taiwan's going to consent to China coming and taking back that land because they have no more oil, they have no more food.
China's just going to full on FBI invade Taiwan. That's how it's going to be.
Let me put it this way. Fucking China is going to overthrow Taiwan before Russia overthrows the Ukraine.
Possibly.
Interesting. Now, like when it comes to Ukraine, I've made this call several times. We're going to end up with Berlin Wall 2.0, where they're just going to draw some line somewhere in Ukraine. Russia's going to say, this is ours now. They're going to build, it's either going to be a bridge or they're going to build some wall somewhere. And that's going to be what we have to play political hopscotch around for the next 20 fucking years because of our feckless leadership in DC. But China taking back Taiwan is really just a matter of a couple of very prudent chess moves, because you got to remember, China can do the naval blockade if they want to. A lot of people don't know this. China actually has the world's biggest navy. They have more ships than we do. Granted, we got more big ships, but they do have more raw ships that they can put out.
We covered that like 6 months ago here on Dog and Chicken Show when they surpassed us on Navy.
Yep. And so part of that is so that they can still keep relevant trade routes open and fully blockade Taiwan if they want to. And so that's because you got to remember, folks, why does the US dollar have any value at all? To just say that it's our bullets isn't quite the complete picture. It's really our bullets, the fact that every nation trades petrol in the United States dollar, and the big one, here's the big kicker, our US Navy secures all major trade routes. That is what holds up the US dollar. And if China's Navy can now hold up major trade routes throughout the world, now China's currency becomes the world reserve currency overnight, which is why I always say, if you're wanting to teach your kids a new language, you might want to think about Chinese.
Invest in precious metals such as lead and copper.
True. Gold, silver,
Why do you think so
lead,
many
copper,
people are fucking ripping
brass
off catalytic converters off cars right now? It's a lot of copper.
Or like even better, gold, or copper, brass, lead. In bullets have gone up tremendously in value as of late. So that's something to keep in mind. China just has to make a few proper chess moves, and the rest of the century is theirs. Like, I don't think a lot of people really appreciate how much of a precarious position we're in with this war with China. So Trump was right in his trade war, but his execution was not correct.
It was, correct. So what's that do for escalation of war for us as a country?
Well,
it's always going to be there. It's going to take a sizable event, though, and I don't think a weather balloon is going to be the catalyst.
No. But like, if troops touch ground in Taiwan, the United States might be.
I think a blockade. They have to.
That's the thing, though. With a blockade,
it's worth it.
Yeah, that is no troops have touched ground. It's a trade dispute. This is something to be argued at The Hague and at the United Nations. And also the anti-war amongst the West will be able to cry high hell about, like, we're committing this aggressive act of invasion now. And so, like, yes, granted, this is over Taiwan, but it's going to be our troops that touch ground first.
But here's the thing. If it happens within the next year and a half to 2 years, while Biden's still in office, he's going to...
I understand we have bases there.
He's going to do whatever he can to, bend the knee for him anyway. If this happens when, say, a Trump or DeSantis, whoever is in office after the next election, there's not going to be. I mean, they're going to push back and it's not going to kick off. So I think we're safe for the time being. And if they decide to actually try to take back Taiwan, we better have a very, very vested interest. I can imagine we'd have a better vested interest in Taiwan than we ever did for fucking Ukraine. But good luck convincing people and good luck trying to get approval, but they fucking will somehow, because they got a lot of that money any way they can, into sending money to Ukraine while simultaneously sending fucking funding and aid to Taiwan as well. So I just, no.
Yeah, like that's if, like, with what they saw in Ukraine, I think China's like, all right, we're going to take a minute to just kind of hang back, because apparently, like, they were wondering, are we going to actually
invade?
Well, they're kind of hanging back and saying, like, okay, is the West going to actually commit their own troops to the war? Or are they just going to commit their money and military industrial complex to the war?
And what's the online media reaction? How's the propaganda war gonna be like?
Oh, the propaganda war here in the West is A+. I mean, A+. Like, you've got people believing that they know everything about the Ukrainian war, and like they think everything's going great. Everything couldn't be more peachy.
Gross how many people think they know what's going on.
Well, that's like when I had to point out the other day, it's like, guys, if you think that you're like, I have exact maps where all troop locations are in Ukraine. War is won by deception, dumb fuck. The idea that you haven't been fed bullshit is like the idea that, I mean, it's basically 100% that at some point, just about every commentator has said something untrue about the Ukrainian war because the sources themselves are putting out misinformation.
Didn't fucking Dylan go over there?
Yeah, Dylan Burns went to Poland, and I think he might have crossed into Ukrainian border a few times, but he's mostly been hanging out in Poland. And even him on the ground, with as much good information as you could possibly get.
Shit.
Well, here's the thing. He might even actually knowingly be spreading misinformation because, like, okay, the Ukrainian troops, they're going to be in location A, but I'm going to report they're going to be in location B so that the Russians are looking over here. Now, here's the thing. If you have picked a side in a war like that, and you did a piece of misinformation like that, did you actually commit an unethical act?
Yes.
Technically, yes.
You took a side in a war. That's an unethical act, in my opinion.
Yep.
Okay. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're trying to end the war in one side or another, and you use misinformation to get to a victory, did you actually commit? Like, because that is when you're asking the question
if you were aggressed on. Like, so this is a principled conversation now of where, like, a war, in my opinion, or even a fight. Like, I match aggression or exceed depending on how I feel the aggression intensity is going to be. So, like, Russia, Ukraine, neither of them aggressed on me. I didn't aggress on them. This is a border dispute, in my opinion. Like, I have no idea why the fuck we're there. Now, if I were to get on a plane, fly over there, and pretend to pick a side or you know, clout chase on a war coverage and do my own, you know, it'd be one thing if I was doing journalism and like trying to show this both sides of everything. That's different. But if I'm picking a side and trying to be a propagandist for one side, like Dylan Burns seems like he's doing, I find that highly unethical. No matter what.
Okay. That, you know, that's a very valid argument there, because like, yeah, when you're injecting yourself into a war that you didn't really have, like, you know, let's be frank, like us in America,
he's got no skin in the game.
Yeah. We're not on the verge of speaking Russian or Ukrainian. Okay. Like it's not going to happen. So I totally understand that perspective is very valid, because like, to me, I kind of look at it like, you know, if you're in a boxing match of like, hey, look at this hand, bam! You know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, there's going to be some deception involved. Sure. Eventually, if you're going to have any kind of victory in war. So that's just a conceit you have to make if you inject yourself into war. But that's why I always say, folks, the anti-war people are always eventually proven right over enough time. Like during the first year or two of the war, it's real tough because everyone's like, how can you not support this great, wonderful war? And everybody's talking about how much they love the war for the first 2 years. And then like when they
even
gave
the
Zelensky
anti-war lefties can be right once in a while.
Anybody that's anti-war, but like I
left.
said, when Zelensky got Man of the Year last year in Time Magazine, I was like, that's cringe. That ain't gonna fucking age well at all. Because I keep telling liberals, people on the left and all the West, I'm begging you, I am pleading with you, please stop treating people in a war like they are fun characters on a TV show. Okay, like they're eventually going to be proven to be horrifying. Eventually, all right.
Yeah, treat it like a toy. It's weird.
Before we get back to, all right, grow the farm out. China has a lot more internal problems than is commonly discussed in the Western world. China has major economic problems they cover very, very well. They will not be taking Taiwan. Maybe Trump knew. Grow the farm out. Trump trade war hurt China bad. Want to know how you can tell? It hurt America too. The trade war long game is kicking in. China has real issues. They are still easily our biggest rival to keep eye on.
Yeah, I've seen several articles there. Economic standards, not only population, like we keep talking about Japan's population and age, but similar things are happening in China over the next like 30, 40 years with that. But there's some people saying China's economy is going to crash in the next 10, 15 years.
I just want to point out real quick that what you just said, Chicken, and what Grow the Farm Up is alluding to here, that maybe China's in a bad position and not the superpower people think they are. This may be the first and only time Grow the Farm Up and Tiberius D actually agree on something.
Well, Tiberius is calling complete collapse of the Chinese government within 10 years because he heard Peter Zeihan say that on Joe Rogan. And so I maybe that might kick in, but like to me, I don't think even if the Chinese government were to collapse tomorrow, all that would happen is they would go from the People's Republic of China to the happy, fun time, super happy People's Republic of China. It was kind of like, remember when we were kids and all the maps would say Great Britain, and then they had a really bad economic collapse, I think the 80s or 90s, then they had to reshuffle everything, shuffle off some old debt, and then they're the United Kingdom on all the maps. So like I can see China doing that.
I do remember that, and I remember actually researching that because, like, in Fairmont Elementary and junior high, we had old books from the 80s, and everything said United Kingdom. And then when we consolidated and we all joined the same schools, we got some new books, and all of a sudden it said United Kingdom. I was like, "What the fuck?" I still call it Great Britain to this day.
Yeah. When
I refer to fucking England, whatever, I call it Great Britain all the goddamn time. Like I still do.
Yeah, and so like I could see that happening in China, and this was something. And I was on a panel with a bunch
huge Risk fan. I love playing Risk. And
that's a great game. But I was on a panel with a bunch of really far left lefties and statists, and I said, this is something that a lot of people don't want to acknowledge, but this is the truth. This is truth, because the need for goods to move will remain constant no matter who's in charge or whatever name is on the top of the letterhead. If the Chinese government and the American government both collapsed in the same day at the exact same time, there would still be barges of goods passing over the Pacific Ocean, exchanging amongst each other. Okay, like this would still like the idea that like all these people would just vaporize. Like no, like there would still be the need for oil, there'd still be the need for trade, there'd still be the need for pork, for rice, for grain, everything to be moving back and forth. So even if these governments were to collapse, it would be kind of hard to actually measure it. And so I think, like, Tony, when you hear the Chinese government's going to collapse, I mean, you've been more skeptical about that than I have over the last few years. Like, I remember when you're like, I don't know about all that.
Yeah,
and me,
I don't know about all that.
yeah. To me, I think at best you're going to see some sort of economic realignment. If Xi Jinping holds on to power, it's pretty much like I don't see any reason why they should collapse. Yeah, they cook the books. Of course they do. Okay, China's like a giant corporation with slave labor. Okay, like if you want to look at it that way, it's not a country; it's a giant corporation with a lot of slave labor.
No, and I think you're right on that one, Phil. And here's what I fear: like this whole like world economic order type shit, where you know they're trying to make like a world economy. My fear is long term down the road. Like not only like social credit scores and all that shit, that scares the shit out of me. I hate all that. But what I think's going to end up start happening is it's not really going to be war anymore. It's going to be, I'm just going to buy this country. So like somebody discovers a whole bunch of oil in Zimbabwe. And all of a sudden somebody's like, oh, well, we want that one. It's going to turn into a worldwide game of Monopoly. Like we're moving that fast and everything travels so goddamn fast. Information and money transfers, fucking all of that. It's so easy to do. So I get why they want to like have this world economic fucking like business wise, corporate wise, government, like China did a really good job of taking capitalism and like making it like force down people's throats in a totally different way. They made capitalism bad. Well, and I don't know, it's good for business. So I'm sure the capitalists over there like it, but I don't know. Like it's just I think the world 100 years from now is going to be so like when we talk about war today, we're still talking about shooting guns and invading countries, and in 100 years from now I think it's just going to be who's got the most money, and then they're going to starve the citizens and fucking they'll bleed them out of there. They'll shut off press coverage. Like we already see it today. Like do you think anybody's over in Libya right now talking about fucking slave trades? Like we're already doing media blackouts in countries that we fucking killed the goddamn leaders in. Like you think that's going to get any better? We're just going to buy them.
There are open air slave markets in Libya now since Obama, collapsed the Gaddafi government. So I'm sure there are some folks talking about that, but no, like what I see happening is over the next 100 years, there's going to be space exploration. And we need to really invest in getting into space and making colonies in space.
To get the fuck out of here. I get it.
Well, not just that, because if we don't,
Tony, I'm with you. Let's go.
In 10,000 years, there's going to be 1 trillion people across our solar system, at least 1 trillion people. And if we don't get down to it, all 1 trillion of those people across our solar system will be Chinese. Okay, so we need to get to colonizing the solar system immediately because the Chinese are not going to stop. Like they will do a very good job. And if they get the high ground, guess what?
Crazy.
All you need is one satellite with a tungsten rod in it that you release, let gravity do the rest, and you have all the fun and none of the fallout of a nuclear bomb. And so that is where war is going to go. It's going to be tungsten rods using gravity wells to create tremendous amount of destruction on biblical scales. And so that is going to be what warfare looks like in 100 years. So the idea of like people firing tanks and pistols at each other is going to seem kind of quaint at that point.
Thoughts, Tony?
Everybody's like, fuck, that sounds like that sucks ass.
Really, oh, shit.
Damn it, another classified document.
Damn it, Biden. Shoved him everywhere.
I don't know. I'm
Tony's going to whip out his dick to pee later, and he's going to be like, oh, my God.
As long as I do it in the safety of my own bathroom. I'm still reeling from Phil's.
He's going to wake up with a tattoo of classified on his butt cheek.
Yeah. I'm reeling from Phil's comment a minute ago when he said, "If we're not careful, 1 trillion people are going to be Chinese."
I was like, yeah, my immediate thought was like, you xenophobe. Like,
yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying the Chinese.
I know what your intent was. But...
Well, no, but I'm saying like, yeah, the entire solar system will be inhabited by people who are descended from folks who lived in China in the 20th and 21st century. If we don't start to get our act together here in the West and in America, like the entire trillion is going to be.
Yes.
Let's get back to racism.
Yes,
like,
Phil's
yes,
trying.
Like I'm doing, like Jesus Christ, but no, like I know that sounds like in our overly politicized and overly politically correct, sensitive world, it's like, but like when you actually examine what it is that I'm saying, you understand that yes, there is actually a very good. I think they did the math, and rods from God was a pipe dream. I don't know about that. Like, just think about all you need is a heavy enough tungsten rod. Let gravity do it, and then you don't have to deal with all the fallout. It might not be as big as a nuke, but you got your point across.
My thought is this: I would much rather be wasting fucking money on a space race as opposed to fighting a Cold War and then a hot war with fucking China. So I
still think
all
we
for
just
the
need to get
space
back to
race.
racism.
Jesus. Well, I'm sorry, but like the Chinese government is
off the battlefield.
Is our biggest rival going forward for who gets to run humanity. Okay, this is what the great final war of everything in our world, the Cold War that we find ourselves is showdown. Yes, the ultimate showdown of ultimate destiny of all humanity. Like, so what is the species that actually explores the stars going to look like? Yes, while these folks are singing, I want you to keep that cacophony in mind.
Bill S. Preston, Theodore Logan, Spock the Rock.
Yeah, that went off the rails.
But no, like I was just gonna keep cutting a promo through it, like, and as this cacophony goes, I want you to keep in mind that this is.
I'm trying to make background music for you, is what I was trying to do.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but
Didn't
like,
work
so
when
no,
we were both in the wrong bar.
But like what I'm saying is, if the Chinese get the advantage of the space race first, nobody else is getting out there. Nobody else is getting off this planet that they say doesn't. Okay, so we have to beat everybody else.
Look, if the Jamaican bobsled team can win,
oh man,
Jamaica's got a bobsled team.
We can do this.
Wow, John Candy.
All right,
it's like, you need me to do what? You need me to get over a Jamaican bobsled team, huh? Jesus.
We're getting into John Candy references now. I think it's time for the last story of the night.
Amazing.
God damn it.
Talented.
John Candy is amazing. I love that.
Rest in peace, John Candy.
Yeah,
God bless you.
One of the good ones. Another good one. Gone too soon.
All right, folks. You thought it was over.
Nope,
you thought you had won. You thought that it had all gone back to normal. However, we had to do one final study to know this was the ultimate showdown.
Okay.
1 million people studied to make sure we get an answer to the final mask debate. We're doing this. And if you want a 91 Honda Accord transmission module, I guess.
Thank God. Finally.
Justin must have a 91 Honda. I don't know. Does this finally put the mask debate to bed? I feel good.
But no, I love mask debating, chicken.
We all day, every day.
Some of us mask debate 5 to 8 times a day. This can't be it.
I got to Phil's just the other day, and he was in there masturbating with himself.
Just debating the mask and its virtues and its fallbacks. I was about to say, now if we could just get, like, my God, I got to give the Daily Mail some credit here. Like I thought I was good at shilling, but this is
their ads are next level.
Like, it's like, is there an article anywhere here?
This is like Laser Floyd in terms of ads.
Yeah, like
I didn't even know there's like text.
Yeah, and then as soon as you scroll down, a pop-up hits, and there's like, buy some shoes.
Fucking glowing mushrooms. This is better than Laser Floyd.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Can we just get to the actual
Justin
headline?
There we
nice.
go.
Okay.
Does this finally put the mask debate to bed? Gold standard analysis of 78 studies and 1 million people finds face coverings made little to no difference to COVID infection or death rates. Wearing a mask reduced the risk of flu or COVID-like illnesses by just 5%. The Danish researchers said wearing one probably makes little or difference. Daily Mail, fucking fire your editors. Your articles are shit. You'll always fuck these up. The study cast doubt on ongoing mask recommendations from the CDC. What?
Wait, those guys that told us what everything we needed to do was?
I have no idea why we're doing these comparison videos.
They did spectacular.
Masks made little to no difference to COVID infection or death rates, according to one of the most comprehensive meta-analyses of face coverings. The research carried out by Cochrane Institute.
Giggity.
Giggity. The gold standard of evidence-based reviews looked at 78 global studies involving over 1 million people. Results indicated that surgical masks reduced the risk of catching COVID or flu-like illness by just 5%, a figure so low it may not be statistically significant. I think we knew that. I love this graphic. This is great. Let's just get the graphic here. COVID mask effectiveness. I know.
No, they're coming too.
Yeah, Jesus.
Don't leave us outside.
Like some of these news articles, you're like, can you just like show me this kind of graphic? It tells me everything I need to know.
Yeah.
I don't have to read this shit.
No, we got to live with COPD and contribute to COVID research without leaving home.
Living with COPD. What are with these kids? What happened? What are we doing? Is that a chicken?
COVID mask effectiveness. Researchers analyzed 78 studies, 1 million plus participants from around the world. Surgical mask reduced COVID risk 5% compared to no mask. Wow. Benefit too small to be statistically significant. An N95 mask offered 30% better protection, as we've been saying since 2020, than
Unless
surgical
you have like
mask.
facial hair and you don't wear it properly, then it's useless.
But researchers did not consider harm of N95 masks.
Oh, like the reduction of oxygen that you get when you're trying to breathe in, or even the skin conditions you can get wearing them.
Yeah. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead. Like, this is
Ugly
something that
people are more likely to wear COVID face masks. Study suggests. Yes.
We all knew that. But like, this is something Scott Adams said, and he had some hyperbole and there was some sarcasm here. But like, there was an element of truth to it when he says, "Guess what? The people who are against the vaccine, the people who are against the masks, the people who are skeptical of everything, you won. You won everything."
Oh, and then people on Twitter fucking lit him up. Like, even though he gave it to him, he was like, "You guys won. You guys won." Then everybody was like, "Fuck you, Scott Adams, for telling me I won."
Yeah.
I remember that. But like, and so we now stand in this very strange crossroads where, like, 2 years ago, it was the people who were skeptical of the masks and vaccines that were on the back foot, that they were rhetorically on the back foot. But now they're like, the public has pretty much followed them, whether anybody likes it or not. Most people are just following what the anti-vaxxers and the no-maskers were saying all along, and society's kind of gotten back to normal. And especially like when I go to the big cities like Omaha and stuff like that, like I see maybe like 10, 15 people all day that are wearing a mask.
That's
so
too many.
The public has
Those are the ugly
led.
people.
The public led on this.
The people with nice eyes but a snaggletooth and a busted ass nose.
But no, like I remember during this, and it's going to affect a lot of kids moving forward, because a lot of kids said that like the mask was almost like a security blanket.
Yeah,
because it made them feel like they were safe. Like, and that's really all it was.
That's how they were groomed to feel. That's what their
Mhm.
parents told them. Like, no,
Yeah,
because that's how they
teachers-
it's a
convinced.
bunch of
That's how they
pussies
convinced the kid to
being
wear it in the
raised.
first place. Because the kid didn't want to wear it in the first place. They had to convince the kid to wear it. And once they did that, how do you go back from that? You don't.
So, guys, what this really is here is one final satisfying mask debate. This is the final most satisfying. Like, it's just like everybody always tells themselves, that's it. This is it. The last time I'm ever going to mask debate. I'm not going to do it ever again after this. And then it's like, like Joe Rogan said, I thought it was past this.
Yeah, it's
It kind of reminds me of like
clarity.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like play. Let's put it to video games, like
In a
Super
video
Mario Brothers 1, 2, 3. Like you're always like, oh, I'm gonna fight Bowser. This is gonna be an epic battle at the end of the game. Like you always had this ultimate showdown at the end of the game, and then you got to the N64, which I'm not knocking Mario 64, but it was really easy to beat Bowser at the end because you already knew that he wasn't that scary. He's not that big. And so like if I was gonna put like some kind of analogy to COVID masking into a video game, I'd say COVID masking was like N64's fucking Mario 64, because it was like, yeah, like the hard part was getting 120 stars. That's how you actually beat the game. But beating Bowser wasn't a big deal. Like you could do that in a day. It wasn't a big deal. We all knew that from the start. We're like, oh yeah, mass, yeah, okay, whatever. I beat Bowser yesterday.
Me and Tony are like, fuck you. It took us 2 months to beat Bowser. What the fuck, man?
Sure, yeah, it was totally easy.
Yeah, it's totally easy in an afternoon. Yeah.
But okay, maybe it's a bad analogy. Fuck you guys. All right, let's get back to racism.
Jesus. Okay. Let's see.
You put
I'm
that
sure there
fucking
was
down right now. All right.
I'm sure there was one or two. Oh no.
Chicken's boycotting the show.
Because Tony put up cowboy.
I didn't even
do it.
Fucking Justin, you dick.
I didn't.
Our producer's drunk.
Yep. Well, gentlemen, if that's the case,
is it that time already? Oh yeah, we're hitting the 2-hour mark. Yeah.
Yep. As I'm known to say around here,
Oh, yeah.
folks. All that being said, thank you for joining us here at the Big Buckin' Empire on YouTube and Facebook. I am your King of Extreme, Phil KOE, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes you the podcast hour. You can find me, of course, at KOE Nation on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. Folks, I hope all of you make it back here happy, healthy. Oh my God, I overpoured, much the wiser. God bless every last one of you. Folks, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. I can't wait to see you back here at Big Buckin' Empire, KOE Nation, all the crazy places. Gentlemen, are we doing a post show or am I going live?
I don't go live, Phil. Go live.
Okay. I will be going live at KOE Nation shortly, in about 15 minutes, folks, at 10:45.
Tony, do you want to chug that?
Folks,
Yeah.
God
Yeah, you
bless
do.
every last one of you.
All right.
Can't wait to see you back here at KOE Nation shortly. Tony, Chicken, take it away.
Hey, folks, thank you for tuning in. This was a really fun show. I'm sober, boss. Okay. All right. I'll trust you, Yank.
Stretch while I make the room so I can drop a link.
Fair enough. So Phil's got a shot coming up. Got
I just
Toady
took it.
with a.
It's awful.
Oh, you did? Oh, God,
Yeah.
sorry.
I missed it.
Well,
Me too.
fuck you.
Tony's got a beer chug coming up, but appreciate everybody tuning in. Yeah, no post show tonight. Tony's got to work in the morning. So do I. Been a really long fucking day for me. On top of all that, but I'll be in the chat with y'all when Phil goes live. So be sure to jump over there. And then hopefully next week we get. Maybe there's more in the news. This was a slow news week. We really had to pull some shit out of our ass to make this show work tonight and have some fun stuff to talk about. So thank you, Ocasio-Cortez. We appreciate you. We love you. You're very special. And that's all I got. Tony, Phil, have your drinks and
one moment here. I almost got the room set up so I can drop a link for you beautiful people.
I love that chicken graphic, by the way.
Back. All right.
Should make like Phil act like he's falling over, like he's getting run over by a bunch of chickens.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Brings up a good point.
Stampede.
Week's topic. We did actually. That was a lot of it.
That's right. You missed the first hour.
All right. Go back, watch. Tremendous. It's tremendous. Yeah. No, I'm hoping we've got I'm hoping to have a couple little surprises next week. So let's
I like it. I like surprises. Is it racism?
It could be adjacent.
Adjacent.
So let's promote the hell out of next
Okay.
week's show.
All right,
Like,
folks.
Share and subscribe to the Big Buckin' Empire on Facebook and the Dog and Chicken Show on YouTube, Spotify, Twitch, Rumble, D Live, fucking YouTube, other shit. I don't know.
Yes.
What else?
Now, folks, it's the show so nice we had to outro it twice, but hit this YouTube link that I just dropped, and that will be the live show that I hit at 8:40 or 10:45 here, you beautiful folks. T, Chicken, take it away.
I already said my goodbyes, so Tony, you have your chug.
I was still saying my goodbye. Whatever.
I don't even want to now.
I don't even want to. Now, fun show, like I said. Appreciate y'all. Look forward to Phil. See what you got for your stream and talk some shit about. If Ty shows up, I am so in the chat.
Fair enough. We shall see all you beautiful people, but I can't wait to see all of you over at KOE Nation. So, Tony,
Yeah, like,
Zane, goodbye.
subscribe. Check us out next week, folks. Episode 174.
Love you back.
See if it just smooths itself out.
Back. Tell you what I'll do if I ever get back. I promise to refabricate you, raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised.